Sit back, strap in, and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I'm TC Restani, emanating from the palatial podcast penthouse, and I'm here with my esteemed panel of experts, back after a little hiatus, around the world, coast to coast, and all borders in between. I'm going to introduce them right now, starting off with the injured man to my right, my mentor, Mr. Ricky Bittman. What's going on, Ricky?
Oh, up and away. Hey, I'm telling you, it's great to be back at the palatial penthouse because I've been I just, what was it like? It was right after St. Patrick's Day. I think the last time I was on the air.
You were going on a tour or whatnot.
Yeah. And that's when my woes started, and I compounded them on my trip down to Tampa, which we'll get to.
Of course, Quincy Briscoe, the milkman himself. What's going on, Quince?
Nothing much yourselves.
Just sitting here listening to you talk about Cheez-Its, milk, and all that other fun stuff. Sinister boss, sinister over there. And, of course, the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, the one and the only South Boston Jeff.
Hey, milkmen and mentors. We're here. Hey, what's going on, TC? What's going on?
All right, we're back.
We're excited.
Like you said, we're back here in the podcast penthouse. You, like you said, it was March 17th, 18th, somewhere around there.
It was after St. Patty's Day.
That you went on your little quest. I'm not talking about that guy from California either.
Lakers lost.
Q West, but we're talking about what happened on the road?
Well, what happened was, if you remember, I was complaining about my back right after St. Patty's Day.
You were.
Because I took a 2-mile walk in shoes. This is what happens when you get old kids. Shoes that weren't the right shoes to be walking that long in. And I'd really screwed up my knee, and I just screwed up my back. It was just awful. Right now, you fast forward a month. Okay? Perfect. April 16th.
April 16th.
I developed back spasms.
Ooh.
And have you ever had them?
I've had kidney stones. That was a pretty painful deal.
You get some spasms out of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. I didn't even think of kidney stones, but I'm going to tell you right now. If kidney stones are worse, and I'm going to say they probably are, back spasms almost put me, I'm telling you, I could not. The pain was unbearable.
What did you do for the pain?
I took luckily, Tosh Lent and her family have a wide network of drugs in their family, so I got some really big pills that were called muscle relaxers.
They weren't somers, were they?
I don't know what they were, but I would take anything at that point.
Really?
I would have shot heroin if someone said it would have made me feel better.
Okay.
So I downed one of those, and within a couple hours, it went away. Now, luckily, they did not come back on the flight down to Tampa Bay.
Which is a 3-hour tour.
It was, and it was a lovely flight, and it was a lovely trip, and everything was great. And we went to see the Country Fest kickoff of Kenny Chesney's show, his tour. He's on his 3rd show coming up this week, and I was at the first. It was Kenny Chesney, Uncle Cracker, Zach Brown Band, and Megan Maroney. She's a doll, cute little girl.
All people that would have played at the Boar's Nest on the Dukes of Hazzard.
Absolutely, 100%, right. Especially Zach Brown. So after the show, and everything went great. Had a lot of beer, not going to lie. Had some nice fried chicken while I was at the show. Walking out, thousands of people in front of me. Why I was the only one, I don't know. Fell right in a ditch.
Because you had a lot of beer, right?
No, I did not. I'm going to tell you right now. I did have a lot of beer, but it was over a long period of time. The show started at 5:30, ended at 11:30. I was not drunk.
And you had the chicken absorbing it.
Well, it was something got the blood stopping quick. But I'm telling you, I fell into this ditch. These young guys helped me out. I'm walking along, and I realized the blood is pouring out of my hand. And I don't know where it's coming from. Finally, when I got back to the hotel, and you can see how tiny this cut is.
It is. It's minute.
And it's because it's healing, but it wasn't much bigger but the blood was flowing, probably because my blood was thinned out from the Bud Lights I had.
Alcohol.
Possibly. But now, my leg is even more screwed up, although the back spasms have not come back. So I'm just battling this. I got a huge scab on my knee. I got my hip and my leg are still healing, but I think I got a little ways to go before I'm 100%.
I've been telling you this. Chiropractic.
I was thinking I'll tell you right now, I was thinking of that when I had the back spasms.
My good friend, Dr. Scott.
But if he tried to bend this knee right now, I think I would just break in tears because it doesn't bend quite all the way.
Well, maybe he put the 10s on it first.
Oh, I can't
You know, the electric pulses.
I have a feeling it's going to go either that route or physical therapy. But I mean, physical therapy is just so time consuming.
I think you need to make a consultation.
I know,
with
but what
my
if he breaks my
personal
leg?
He's not going to break your leg.
But I've seen them break people's backs.
Well, no, who? You obviously not the chiropractors that I know.
No, I know that. I know. But I'm just,
Maybe you need a ring dinger.
maybe if they could knock me out and then just break everything and then wake me up.
Yeah, they're not going to break anything.
I'm just
it's
afraid.
putting stuff back in place.
I know. People, listen, Doug Palumbo.
Right.
Huge proponent of chiropractic. And he would be the first one to tell me.
Chiropractic health is the way to go, Mr. Bittman.
All right. I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to look into it.
All right, you better look into it.
But
You're not getting any younger.
no, well, that's quite obvious when two young boys in cowboy hats pick you up off the street. It's pretty obvious you're not getting any younger. But I did have a great trip. Tampa Bay is beautiful.
Love Tampa.
I ate in a place called American Social. I think we ate there 3 times. It was so good, but you know, it's a beautiful city.
I like St. Pete Beach myself.
We were gonna go back to Tampa Bay and we're gonna head out
They
there.
got a hell of a diner there. Hell of a diner.
hell of a I love a good.
I don't know what the name of it is, but it was a hell of a diner.
Good.
I went to a wedding down there about 14, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Airwolf Chris, you know the guy who used to direct
Oh,
our
yeah,
show?
yeah.
He got married down there in St. Pete Beach to a lovely girl from Florida down there.
beautiful.
And we and I was actually in the wedding.
Beautiful.
So and
you guys
they
are tight. That's nice.
And they had a nice little diner right on the campus of this hotel.
Can't beat that.
And you couldn't. I went there 3 times. Great omelets.
So you're
you know?
like me. Why change up? If
Right.
it's-
I didn't have a rent-a-car either, so I was,
we didn't have
I
a
was
car
just
down there.
stuck
We-
there.
we walked
so
everywhere.
it was either that or wait for the wedding meal.
Yeah, which is always
It was all right.
chicken or beef.
I don't even remember what it was.
That's an old school commercial. Beef. Chicken, beef. You'll take beef every time. That's an old school. Do you remember that?
I know you will.
You don't eat chicken, do you?
Once in a while, you know what? Chicken's okay, but if you're going to have that, have some banquet drumsticks.
Banquet drumsticks. Ooh.
You know,
Interesting.
they're easy to fix. $3.50 for about half an hour.
You don't fix them in like flour or breadcrumbs or anything?
No.
They come out of the bag. He puts them right in the toaster oven, right?
You could do that too. You know, that's another thing.
I'm telling you, QB over there. You know what you need to get? An air fryer.
Yeah.
You need the air fryer. We done it like, remember when you come over to my house, we cooked all that crap in the air fryer one night? And when you were like, no, this is the hot dogs. Remember I cooked them in the air fryer and you were sucking them down like they were Skittles.
Air fryers. Okay, well.
Yes, and great to have around, especially if you're into home fries and all the like fresh fresh tater tots and stuff like that.
And you know what else is really good? And you'll find out because I heard through the grapevine, you're finally going to have your schedule to come to one of our
I promise.
one of our after-hour deck
I'm
barbecues.
going to come to more than one.
All right, good. That's how I cook the corn on the cob.
In the air fryer. Oh, well, now I have to come to see this.
And you know, once it's done, you have whatever you want to put on it. The butter, the salt, whatever else Quincy puts on
Okay.
his thing over there.
How about
I eat
potatoes?
you know, I eat corn plain.
I eat corn plain.
It doesn't. I don't think it needs anything.
You
Popcorn.
gotta have.
No, corn on the cob. I don't put butter on it. Nothing.
Come on, you gotta have a little margarine.
I don't think
salt.
you need it. I don't think you
Quincy,
need it.
you emphasize a little margarine or salt. You take a stick and just roll the corn until the stick is absorbed by
That's
the
how
corn.
my family used to do it. We'd have the
That's
special
right.
butter stick.
That's fun, you know.
I
And some
agree.
salt, you know.
Some salt? You have more than this in the Atlantic Ocean salt right on your corn on the cob, Quince.
And then you need a baked potato.
Which you even add another stick upon it.
Sour
Can you-
cream too. Why always come back to food? You ever notice that?
Can you cook
think we were
that in a
starving.
fryer in the potato?
Sure.
Or do you need to
Now,
put
that's
it
a
on
good
gas?
idea.
Well, we put it on the grill. It tastes better on the grill when you
Yeah.
wrap it in the tin foil.
You know, back in the old days, they used to take nails and put them in the baked potatoes and put them on the grill because the nail would heat up and cook the potato from within.
Really?
Yeah, they had a thing
Wow.
called potato nails.
You mean like a plunger in a turkey?
Somewhat, but the nail heats up and it cooks the
Plunger in a
potato from
turkey.
the inside out.
The only thing I don't like about that, it takes too long.
But baked potatoes, Tosh hates making baked potatoes for me, and I love them because they take so
On the
friggin'
grill.
long.
On the grill.
Anyway, no matter how you make
You got to
them.
put it on like a half hour before you even put the meat
Yeah.
on the grill because it takes so long.
Yeah.
And I get those Andre the Giant looking baked potatoes.
That's the only way to
Not
go.
the little small
No,
ones.
it's the only way to go.
Giant things like that. So unbelievable. So Tampa, Florida. So anyways, you recommend everybody on this panel should go to Tampa at least once in their life.
I've never been to that part of Florida, And I highly recommend it. The ocean was right there.
The Gulf Coast.
We went on a thing called the Pirate Taxi Tour, which goes up and down the Bay Area. It was beautiful. I mean, everything, the weather was gorgeous. Not a drop of rain the whole time.
Unbelievable.
And we stayed in a beautiful hotel. Quickly, I'll tell you, the first hotel we checked into, the one we booked, was a shithole. Tosh was not having it. We were in downtown. It was drag racing all night. We couldn't even sleep the first night. We got in late, too. And I found this hotel that was a little further out. Cost a little bit more money, but you know what? You only live once, right?
Yeah, when you're Ricky Bittman, you can afford it.
You're damn right. So I said, I'm not going to stay 4 nights in this damn place. I think it was 5 nights we were there. So
Did they have a pool like the one at the log cabin in Vacation?
The first one did, actually.
Okay.
It was really bad. It was, you know what it was? It was built in the city, and there were buildings around it. The sun never touched the pool.
All right.
It was freezing down.
It was a ghetto hotel?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a Marriott, but it just wasn't a good Marriott. And the bathtub was dirty. So, of course, Tasha goes down and she puts up good cop, bad cop. She's the bad cop. Then I go smooth things over, and then they let us check out and they give us our points back and all that BS or whatever.
Unbelievable.
But in the night, though, then we checked into the nice place after that.
Well, you had a great time in Tampa, Florida. Jeff and I went down to Parsippany, New
I'm telling you,
Jersey.
I saw those pics.
For another stellar episode of we going to Chilla Theater, the pop culture con in New Jersey. And Jeff, why don't you give us the 4-on-1 on some of the big time names that you encountered down in Parsippany?
Okay, well, first of all, the biggest name I had to nail right away. Had to nail it. Well, I'd like to nail it, but I got to meet the exotic Charo from everybody knows Charo from The Love Boat and
Charo
from,
Coochie Coochie.
Yeah, Hoochie Coochie, and a lot of people don't know that the Hoochie Coochie was actually invented by her dog. She had this fat little Mexican Chihuahua that used to rub its ass on the carpet and everything side to side.
She
And
told you the
she's
story?
She was telling a bunch of people this story, but she's very fun and very she's awfully fun and awfully exotic, and she waves around like a snake, like the ocean. That's why she signed my album that I've been holding on to for a few years, and it's a picture of her. Just I think she's in the pool or in the ocean or something, because that's how she moves. She's very wavy and
Fluid.
She's very fluid.
She's like a mermaid.
She is. She certainly is. But then I back in the 70s and 80s, there was this band Fear, like a punk rock band. Their lead singer was Lee Ving. He was there. He turned out to be a really fantastic guy and everything. He's been in quite a few movies in the 80s. Back in the 80s, he played in the movie Clue with Martin Mull. He played Mr. Body. Yeah, he played
The dead guy.
Yeah, well, but and then he was in The Wildlife with you remember that Christopher Penn and Eric Stoltz movie about partying and
That's the one where he lights the cigarette with the big torch.
Yes, that was actually the unofficial, not sequel, but spin-off from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Really?
It was produced by the same people, written by the same people.
Amy Heckerling?
Amy Heckerling did not direct the movie, though.
No, okay.
It was a great movie. He played the cable guy in that movie.
Cable guy?
Yeah, the cable guy that just started hanging out. He was also... played Jennifer Beals' creepy boss in Flashdance.
What a feeling.
Great song.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to Charo for 2 seconds. Do you know what Charo's full name is? No wonder she said just decides Charo.
Rita Conchita Alonso.
Her name is Maria Rosario Pilar Martinez Molina Baeza.
I got the Maria.
I should have
Charo.
asked her to sign her full name on my album and everything.
She'll still be there.
She would have, yeah.
She would have ran out of ink in the Sharpie.
There's not enough ink in my pen.
Now, I remember her on the Love Boat. Do you remember what her name was on the Love Boat?
No.
I think it was April Lopez.
Ah, that sounds familiar.
And she was always on there singing for Captain Stubing for free rides and whatnot.
Yeah. I remember from the Mike Douglas show. She was always on the Mike Douglas show when I was a kid.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she did an unbelievable appearance on the Carol Burnett show one time, I remember. But always on the Hollywood Squares.
Yep.
She just turned 91, Carol Burnett.
Did you really?
Right, yeah.
Charo was an accomplished flamenco guitarist. One of the best there ever was. Really.
Yeah, she certainly was. That's why I've always wanted to meet her and everything. She can really strum with those long fingernails of her.
There's not a lot of her out there doing that.
And she's relatively still young for, being
73, you said?
She's like 73, 74. I would have swore.
The new 50s.
She would have been
60 or 50.
Well, actually, I thought she was older.
I did too. I thought she was in her 80s.
Charo was born. Where does it say here? Doesn't say on her Wikipedia how old she is. But I think she was born in. But I think she was 73. That's what someone said. What is this? Cough contagious, Quincy? I need a drink.
Yeah, see, you got everybody scared.
Who else did you meet? Who else did you meet, Jeff?
I just want to say that me and Lee Ving got along famously because he was I had him sign my blue shirt that I wear to all my concerts and everything. It's got all kinds of my patches of my favorite rock bands on it. And so he was checking it out, and as he was checking it out, he noticed the Mentors on there. He was like, you got the Mentors on there. I love the Mentors. And he was like, El Duce was the shit. Boy, oh boy. And we started singing a few of the songs. But, to meet these celebrities is one thing, but to get a laugh out of them, if you really get along with them, that's another thing entirely.
You're the only one I ever seen do that. Like that right there is that's textbook Southie Jeff having the Mentors patch on his shirt and getting leaving to recognize it and having a moment with him.
Through my earpiece from our producer, Abby, who is up in the booth out there, she just said, Coochie is 73 years old and was born January 15th, 1951.
Well, it's a good year.
So she's like almost 20 years older than me. And she still looks pretty damn good.
I think she looks great.
But I really honestly thought she would be like pushing 80.
I did too.
I mean, the Love Boat was on like almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So, good for her.
So keeping in my my tradition of collecting the signatures on my rare Japanese kung fu icons, I got yet another sword signed. This one by Angela Mayo Ying. And she was known as Lady Kung Fu, and she did a lot of movies with Bruce Lee.
Very impressive.
And I got a very nice, sleek lady sword signed by her. She was very impressed by it. She sort of didn't want to give it up and everything after I signed it, but I was swinging it around.
You were swinging. Let's get to the story out here. So we have to have this because this is a classic Jeff story. Jeff was very excited to meet this woman, by the way. And it was one of the first people you ran up to at the show. And being a little excited, Jeff unholstered his sword, I would guess, and it started swaying and whatnot. And as you can see on the screen right now, are these pictures that were snapped by me at the table where Jeff almost, decapitated this woman a few times. In fact, her handlers were like, hey, dude, look out, dude. And you can see that. My favorite picture is where her mouth is open going, ah. So it was another fantastic encounter and story. And the person who brought her in is the person who brings in all these kung fu legends. And as soon as he saw Jeff, he goes, hey, man, you're the Sonny Shiba sword dude.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of me this time and everything. That dude is like my Japanese connection.
That's
because
cool.
He's brought in, this is the fourth Japanese icon he's brought in. Sonny Chiba was the first. Shoyasuji the ninja was the second. And then the Bolo Yen about 2 years ago.
Nose picker.
Really dug getting my sword signed by him. But this lady right here. But he introduced me he introduced me very as a sword collector extraordinaire. But yeah, she was very nice, very jumpy. But
well, it was what it was, and it was a fantastic memory. And it seems like every time we go to Chiller, Jeff comes up with some crazy memory that we're always talking about here.
That's what makes the trip worthwhile.
That is, that and the other company we went down with.
Oh. Before, I want to mention, when you were telling the story about the sword play, did you ever see the old sketch on Saturday Night Live when Buck Henry John Belushi accidentally hit Buck Henry with the sword
No.
and drew blood on live television.
No, I did
Well,
not.
is it John Belushi's samurai
Yeah, one of
obstetrician character?
I
or
think
something?
he was like Samurai Hotel or something. I was trying to find the clip. Of course, you can't find it on YouTube because SNL clips are very hard to find. But there is one where he was hitting the lantern, one of those paper lanterns, and he hit it too far. And you could see the sword hit Buck Henry, and you could see him start to bleed. And at the end of the show, he had a bandage on his head. It's just the only thing you can find on YouTube is an interview with
I think Buck
Henry.
Henry banged Carrie Fisher because there's a famous photo of them.
I wouldn't doubt it because Buck Henry had game.
There was a famous photo of them lying down on a chaise lounge near a pool, and she was in a very nice bathing suit, and she was grabbing his nutsack.
Yeah, see,
So
I think she had daddy issues.
really, well, look where her dad was.
Yeah, was it Eddie Fisher?
No, Darth Vader.
How did I not? I just.
Yeah, I mean, the more and more you talk about Carrie Fisher, the less of a princess she is.
Yeah.
No, she's a queen in my opinion. She's
Yeah,
the
she
best.
Dirty girl.
Yeah, especially now because May the 4th is coming up.
That's right.
This week.
Oh, there's a big Temple Beth Shalom. There's a big 80s dance party.
I saw that. The Power of Love.
Yeah, the Power of Love. That's what it's called.
Maybe Doc and the DeLorean will show
I'm
up at
telling
that.
you, that would be awesome.
Don't need money.
So did you guys just make the trip yourself, or we're not
Well,
gonna
we
do it?
went down with our
With our whack pack, with our Yappo,
Not Mario,
with
right?
our Yappo Dappo gang.
right. Yeah, the Apple Dapple.
Dapple.
Actually, Dana could pass as that genie.
The Yappo Dapple, Babu,
Babu.
Yappo.
I really want to get an autograph from that person. That's
No,
wonderful.
Not to take anybody down, but like you really, this is your one time where you get down with the real people.
Sure.
And you drive all the way down. You
Oh,
don't
and drive all the way back.
Yeah, and you don't drive. You don't do any luxury liners or nothing. You just get in a
I get
rent-a-car?
down and dirty because it's my roots.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I started autograph collecting when I was 18 years old, and I would go from pillar to post and all points in between, driving myself.
So okay, just the day. It's a Saturday, right?
No, it's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Okay.
It's a Friday.
So just take me through.
right.
You get up at what time?
The alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Friday morning.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I've been down here at the studio doing production work until like 11 o'clock that Thursday night. So I had to go home, put on my sleep apnea mask, all right, sucking in the oxygen and trying to get, I did get some sleep. I usually don't because I'm like excited and whatnot. I was just way too tired. So I slept about, I'm going to say, almost 5 hours, which for me, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard you say less.
So I got up at 5:30, got showered and whatnot, walked down to get my rent-a-car where I had it parked, and then I packed the car, get the gas and whatnot, go get the cash out of the ATM because you need the cash down there because everything is all cash.
Yeah, nobody takes credit cards for those.
I hear on my phone about 100 times from the other collectors, when you picking us up? Well, what time? Blah, 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 blah. So the first person I get is South Boston Jeff.
He's got to be
obviously.
shotgun.
I usually have my coffee and Pop-Tarts ready by then.
And he has his giant headrest pillow.
Yeah,
Very nice.
And he has his bag of Sharpies and whatnot ready for the trip. And he sits up front until we go pick up the autograph collectors. And he goes into the back of the van and passes out.
Okay.
All right. So
Smart man.
So we had our good friend Dana, who's been collecting autographs since like the 50s.
I don't think I know Dana.
All right, well, you'll have to meet Dana. And Steve, who usually travels down with us, Steve took the train down because he had to get there early for some weird reason. But we actually beat him there, which makes no sense.
That's great.
And then John drove down with the other John Roche, and they followed us down. And we stop off, of course, our very first stop is Ryan's Deli.
Ryan's Deli on the way down.
On the way down in beautiful Vernon, Connecticut.
And what time is this now?
This is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10:30.
Okay, still early. Okay.
It's right before you get into Hartford.
Okay, yeah.
So you're talking from Boston down there. You're talking maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
So we go to the Rhines. We get what we're usually going to have,
Which is?
well, Jeff got this like unbelievable everything bagel sandwich. What was on that thing?
Oh, it was the everything bagel, Swiss cheese. It was kind of the fresh bacon that they cooked this morning. Plus, it was a double decker of corned beef and pastrami, corned beef and pastrami and everything.
Nice.
This is the sandwich you look forward to all year.
And they give you a
I had
gherkin,
two
a
of
couple
them.
gherkins,
Ooh, beautiful.
fresh
Yep.
gherkins. And what else did you have with it?
Well, that was, and maybe with it, I'll have they make really good bread pudding and tapioca pudding.
Oh my God!
All right, I got myself a tuna sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and have the gherkin pickle. And someone said try the onion rings. I said, I really don't eat that many. And I said, you know what? This is one of my days that I can do whatever I want. So I got the onion rings, and they were fantastic.
Oh yeah, those nice cream beer batter onion rings,
and they were
of course.
huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
Fat ones, yeah.
Oh, they were fantastic.
He couldn't have a whole lot of them, but so I finished what I could. Although they were
you
great.
and Dana. Oh, can I have one? And Dana had one. We love you, Dana, out there. So then we keep driving and whatnot. And we go by the new WWF building or WWE building in Stamford, Connecticut. Beautiful palatial Stamford, Connecticut.
I bet, yeah.
And then we go over the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Tappan Zee Bridge,
which is now known as the Governor Cuomo Bridge.
Fuck that.
It kind of looks like the Zakin Bridge on steroids.
Okay.
It has that same weird designs and all that other nonsense. So we cross that, and then I get a text from the other car. You know, listen, we got to take a piss. We got to take a piss. We got to take a piss.
Oh my God.
So we always stop at a gas station because we always have to go to the bathroom in a place called Suffern. Suffern, New York.
I've heard of that. Okay.
Because we are suffering by the time we get there. So we pull into this, and it's a one bathroom deal, and you have to wait in line to get in there. And I saw some Macho Man Slim Jims. They had him on the cover. I was tempted to steal the box. And, everybody buys their little coffee and whatnot. So we're about 45 minutes away from the show once we get out of Suffern. Then we get up and go into the beautiful mountains of northern New Jersey, into Parsippany, New Jersey, which kind of looks like Woburn. Yeah. And we end up at the Parsippany, the Marriott or the Hilton or whatever it is.
Is it always in the same hotel?
Well, they've fluctuated throughout the last 25 years, but they've been at this place steady for at least 7 or 8. And we go in and get our tickets, and we go our separate ways, and we cross paths throughout the evening. And then once we've done what we can at Chilla, seen all the show. To be honest with you, I looked at my phone. I did 12,000 steps on Friday alone. All right, and most of them were done at the Chilla.
Okay.
Once we leave the Chilla, we all pack in the van and whatnot, and go down to the East Hanover Diner, which is fantastic, which is on Route 10. I believe it's in, it could be in Whippany, New Jersey.
Okay.
But it's a great old school diner.
Parsippany and Whippany.
And Parsippany and Whippany. And the East Hanover. We used to go to the Whippany diner, but they didn't stay open late enough. So we said, screw them. So we went down the road, and there's always another diner in New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey's big on the diners.
And we went in there. It's awesome. This is probably like our 5th time going to this place.
It's a 24-hour joint?
I think they close at 2.
I think it's good enough.
So it's good enough for us. By the time we get there, it was probably, I'm going to say like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, about there. Yeah, we made good time.
We stuff our faces and whatnot. And then this is what I really don't look forward to.
Yeah, the ride home.
Is the next 4.5 to 5 hour ride home. And it's all highway.
How do you stay awake?
I don't know. I don't know how I did this time. Because usually I have someone else that wants to drive. Like, we go down with this guy named Bill, and Bill drives down, and then I drive home, so I get to sleep in the car.
Nice deal. Okay.
Bill didn't go this time because Bill had a little surgery or something. So I knew it was me because Jeff can't drive because he has the eye problem. These other people just don't want to do it. So I get stuck doing it. And we made a couple pit stops on the way home for gas and ARVs, average restroom visits.
Nice.
And when it was all said and done, and I had to return the rent-a-car, I didn't put my head on the pillow until 10:30 in the morning on Saturday. So I was up almost 30 hours.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm here all week. I won't be doing that trip again.
I'm telling you, that's
not until
a feat.
October.
Yeah, many accolades deserved.
And I don't drink coffee, so.
You're right, Quincy. That's a round of applause. That's what I say. Once a year, you roll up your sleeves, and twice a year. That's right.
April and October.
Oh wow!
So we're doing this again in October.
Who's coming in October?
We don't know yet.
No,
but it's October 25th.
Oh, I think I'm going to be in Aruba.
Well, you won't be going to that one. But and who else did you score down there, Jeff?
Well, the little like you say, you just walk around and see how these old people look a few from the Brady bunch will always be there. Like Cindy Brady was there this time and everything, but you can always count on the fake Jan being there. You can always count on Jerry Reichel being there. I don't know why, but like...
I think she lives down the street, to be honest with you. She played Jan on the Variety Hour. Remember that bootleg show?
Yeah.
Cindy Brady, she's a real nice person. You know who she's morphing into?
Farrah Fawcett.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Okay, yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's who she's looking like these days. She's like 63 years old now.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable. And Sybil Shepherd, you know, she was a knockout in The Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
She's going to be calling Hair Club for Men soon, all right?
Oh, is her hair thin?
It was just real thin, and she looks like, did you ever see the original Dune, the one that came out in 84?
Yep.
Remember that witch that like burnt Kyle MacLachlan's hand?
Now I'm seeing it,
And he had she had the balding thing going.
Yeah.
That's what Sybil Shepherd looks like.
She was a doll back in the day.
And, you know, still not saying she's not a bad person, but people say, well, that was one of the things when I was talking to people. What do these people look like now?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know, of
Now,
course.
they had the cast of Hunter there. Remember Fred Dreyer and Stephanie Kramer?
Yep, I remember the show. I never watched it, but I know the show.
Stephanie Kramer was gorgeous back in the day. She was also on a show called We Got It Made with Terry Copley.
Okay.
Remember that one?
Yep.
All right. She now looks like Hawk from Buck Rogers with her white hair.
Oh, God.
I was like, that's Stephanie Kramer?
Mm-hmm.
And poor Fred Dreyer looked like he was, you know, put in a dryer. He didn't know where he was. You know, this sucks people getting old.
Yeah, it does.
You know who looked fantastic was Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Yeah, you showed me that pic. He did look good.
That guy's 70 years old.
Did he give you any hi there?
Boom, 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 boom. Yes, he did. He was doing that to everybody out there. Going, hi there.
That's funny.
Hi there.
You know, it's good to see that somebody like that embraces it a little bit.
Sure.
You know, because he probably has other jobs he does. You know, it's nobody's business
And
what he does.
when
but
we
it's a
would
little
like, he
supplement.
does well for himself and everything. He's like about at a chiller about 20 years ago. Didn't he actually go up and score with one of the models and everything?
Okay, that was in 2009. Do you know who Jamie Lunar is?
No.
Did you ever watch the show Just the 10 of Us?
Yes.
All right, remember it was the coach from Growing Pains who had his own spinoff,
Yeah.
and he had 10 kids and he had like 3 smoking hot daughters.
Yeah. Didn't
Okay.
he get in trouble for something?
No, he didn't.
Not him?
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
So the girl on the show, Jamie Lunar, I had the most amazing crush on, right?
I'm Googling
She
now.
was fantastic. Now, long story short, she was hammered at this show. And she was grabbing people to come over and pose for pictures. Now, I posed for a picture and she grabbed my hands and she put them on her gazangas.
Nice.
Now, I'm saying to myself, if my 17-year-old self knew this, he would never believe this. As I'm doing this, and she signed an autograph, she goes, thanks, Fifi.
Oh, Jesus.
Freddie Boom Boom Washington comes over and she's like, oh, I love welcome back. They stopped making out in front of everybody down there. And Freddie Boom Boom's he's like, did we just make out? Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
There's only 2 sweat hogs left. It's him and Travolta.
That's right.
How old do you think Travolta is now?
Oh, he's got to be 71, 72, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
How's he look?
He's all bald now.
what's her name? Deborah Lee Scott. Didn't she even tap?
Deborah Lee Scott, yeah, she's gone too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hotsy Totsy.
The only person from Carter who's still alive are Travolta, Freddie Boom Boom, and Gabe.
Gabe Kaplan.
Even Mrs. Carter tapped. Marsha Strassman.
Wow.
So, and John Sebastian, what is that noise over there? Put it down over there, all right? Put that cigarette out.
Yeah.
Carter, look what this sweat hogs are doing.
Put out that dog rocket.
Oh, you beat me to the punch. Just about to.
Great minds, Jeff. Great minds.
Put out that dog rocket. I was I talked
That's a
about that
movie we should watch together some night.
Yeah, Nothing But Trouble. It was inspired by. Chevy Chase and Chevy Chase and and Dan Aykroyd went out and got high and decided to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
Definitely has the Texas Chainsaw look to it.
Yeah,
You ever see that one, TC?
Texas Chainsaw 2?
No.
Nothing but trouble?
Yeah.
Bad move, cornflake. I left that flag in France, and now I'm going to stick you. Of course I've seen that.
When he's biting into the sausage.
You know who Dan Aykroyd looked like when he was all dolled up? He looked like Jerry Pearlswig.
Yeah, I concur. I can see
Sabrina,
that.
my cat.
What's my cat Sabrina? even Jerry had a little penis nose going on there.
He did, definitely.
I highly rate. If you've never seen Nothing But Trouble, you have to see that. 1991, Dan Aykroyd's brother directed it, Peter Aykroyd.
Did he ever see this?
I don't think he's seen it.
We gotta see. You'd like that one, Quincy.
I mean, it was like, what? I mean, when I saw that on HBO, I was like, what did I just witness? This movie made no sense
It didn't
whatsoever.
really. Demi Moore looked hot in it, though. I will say.
I did like a short hair.
Another thing about that movie is Bruce Willis was going to come down and kick Chevy Chase's ass. I thought he should have and everything. And like I never oppose of Chevy Chase getting his ass kicked.
You don't like Chevy?
Well, I like him and everything, but he's kind of a loudmouth.
He's a smart ass, Chevy. He really is. And you know
but
what?
in that situation, he like when Bruce Willis flew down, found out what how badly Chevy Chase was treating her.
Yeah. He's really a strange cat, Chevy Chase. He can really be really mean, but I think underneath it, he thinks he's not being mean. I don't know how to explain that, but Chevy has a history with a lot of people.
Right. Bill Murray wanted to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah. But I think
they did actually fight
they
back
did.
in the day.
He was pinned behind the door. Somebody was pinned behind the door while they were fighting.
Dan Aykroyd, not Dan Aykroyd, Belushi didn't like him either.
No, Belushi, I think, was a little jealous of him because Chevy was the heartthrob. He was the handsome guy.
But he only lasted 1 year on SNL.
That's all. But I mean, he's got a lot of
Stealing
potential.
apples
Plus,
and
Lauren
apple from a
Michaels.
kid.
I bet he thought he was going to be the biggest upcoming star in the world.
He
when
really
left
should
and
have been.
everything. Because
Belushi or
Chevy when he left.
so he made that a couple. He had a couple with Goldie Hawn, like Foul Play.
Yep,
and
Foul Play was the first
Seems
one.
Like Old Times was another one I enjoyed.
That was a funny movie.
Yeah.
In the mid-1980s, Chevy Chase was box office.
Yeah, I always thought so.
I mean, vacation movies, Fletch,
Yeah.
Funny Farm,
Yeah.
even the memoirs of the Invisible Man with
Yeah.
Daryl Hannah.
Yep.
Bird napping, steal the apple from a kid.
Caddyshack. Did you say Caddyshack?
No, well, I did not say
Yeah,
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. He
It was
great in
1980,
Caddyshack.
but Rodney was the star of that. But
Yeah.
but I don't like Chevy Chase. I will not go for his autographs. I've heard he's like the Steve Martin stories.
Yeah.
he's a complete jerk off.
I think he's better now.
No, he's not.
I mean, I've seen all these videos of him.
No,
on that.
he's at conventions because he needs the cashola.
Well, yeah.
But he's like Shatner. He doesn't look up. He just signs the name, and passes it off.
What was that movie? Galaxy Quest.
Right.
The guy was-
That was Alan Rickman. Yeah.
That was one of the funniest scenes in the movie. Just like,
How the mighty have fallen. Did you see who's coming to Medford?
Ringo.
Ringo and
Starr.
not Ringo Montana either.
I told Tasha I wanted tickets. She was supposed to get them for me.
He's not friendly.
No, Ringo doesn't sign.
No.
But you know what? Ringo doesn't have to sign. He's a Beatle. I give him a huge pass.
Okay.
Did you ever hear the announcement he made on Howard Stern?
No.
Well, he didn't make it on Howard Stern. He made it on his website, and he's just you got to find this. Okay, we'll watch it after this. He's basically saying to fans, peace and love, everyone, peace and love. I just wanted to put it out there that after the 25th of April, there will be don't send anything to my house to be signed. Now, up until then, it sounded like if you sent something to his house, he would sign it and send it back. He just decided that's the cutoff. He goes, I can't do it anymore. I've got too much to do. So I'm warning you with peace and love. Don't send anything to my house after this date or it will be tossed. And he's going, peace and love, peace and love.
Well, his golden classic, oh my, oh my,
song.
my. Can you smell me? Can you try? After the Beatles, I think he got a lot of requests for that one.
He's
He
a
did
great,
that
he's a
one?
great singles artist, but he's coming to Medford. But Ringo's good. The thing about Ringo is this is what he does. He comes out, he's got the microphone, and he sings, what would you do if I sang? And he just does the peace song. That's all he does. Then at one point during the show, he'll go in and he'll start playing the drums, and he's Ringo. He's a great drummer, so.
He's no Pete Best.
No, Pete Best. Poor Pete.
He still signs autograph at shows.
I bet he does.
And he collects dust because everybody's like, who is this guy?
That's too bad.
Pete, what's your name? Pete Best? You related to Roscoe?
It had to have been Ringo.
You think it was Ringo
What?
that got rid of him?
No, but Ringo had to be the drummer of the Beatles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, but
They were trying to get rid of Pete for a while.
So who do you think it was? You think it was Lennon and McCartney that wanted
Yeah,
to get rid of
they
him?
just weren't impressed with him, and the thing about Pete Best was he was getting all the attention because he was a very good looking
Right.
guy.
And the Beatles were just, the Beatles.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I understand why they got rid of him. I'm a Beatles fan.
Oh my God, yeah.
I like the early Beatles better than the later Beatles.
I like them all.
When they were hippie Beatles.
I like them all. Disney Plus. You have Disney Plus?
I think I do, yeah.
They are showing the original Let It Be documentary on. It's going to stream on May the 8th, so it's in 6-7 days from today's taping. You can see the original Let It Be film, which has not been made available. Last time I saw Let It Be, the actual film was on VHS back when I and Eighth used to have the VHS copy of it down there. That was the last time.
Let it be.
Now that
Let
one
it be, let it
was the
be.
film that came out in the 60s or 70s, 60s. Then Peter Jackson got a hold of all the extra footage and put together the Beatles.
Was that the one directed by Richard Lester?
No, Richard Lester directed Hard Day's Night.
Okay, because he was the one who took over the reins for Superman 2 when they fired Richard Donner.
That's right, yeah.
Which was, in his defense, that was the Superman 2 we grew up with.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the re-edited version of the Richard Donner one, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but I kind of like the Richard Lester version a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
Not much. Not much, because it was just a hodgepodge of outtakes and whatnot for the Richard Donner Superman 2. But every time I think of the Beatles, I always think of Richard Lester.
Well, how can you not?
Well, I don't know.
Ringo is coming to Medford, and I think that's great.
Are you going to go to it? It's in September.
I did tell Tasha I wanted tickets. She always gets the tickets because she knows how to get good tickets.
There's no way they're putting him at the hotel that was across the street from where Reno lived.
No
way.
No.
He'll be at the Four Seasons if anywhere.
He'd probably get on the bus and go right to the next city.
Or maybe his helicopter will land on the roof.
It might.
That's what Madonna used to do.
Oh, that bitch.
She looks like a vampire now.
She looks terrible.
Back in the day, like a virgin and whatnot.
Oh, you kidding?
She was stunning. You know how I like Italian women?
Yeah, no, Madonna. My God, no.
And then all of a sudden, I saw a picture of her recently. She looked like Nosferatu and
she looks like the girl in the Muppet Band on the Muppets.
Yes,
That's
she
what
does.
she looks like.
You're right.
Janice. I think she kind of looks like the female dodgeball player on Ben Stiller's team, in the dodgeball movie.
Yeah.
Like she was played by Missy Pyle.
Yeah.
Missy Pyle, very sweet girl. Met her a few times at the Chiller too.
Should have his own podcast.
But
He does.
about movies.
Okay, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Madonna now looks like the love child of Janice and Rudy Giuliani. That's what she looks like.
I just wish she didn't do that because you know what? You didn't have to. Like if you look at some women, they take these injections.
Cyndi Lauper still looks good.
Yeah.
And she's in her 70s.
Carole King. Look at Carole King. Never did any work to her
I think
face.
it's Carole Kane for a second.
Cyndi
Girls just don't
Lauper
wanna
has a
have
touch
fun.
she has a touch of the shingles and everything.
Yeah,
she keeps on top of it
she
with
has her skin.
Yeah, with her.
Psoriasis or whatever the hell it is. Plaque psoriasis.
Yeah.
Girls just
We were
don't want to
talking
have
about-
fun.
They do.
Do they? Really? Unbelievable.
She bop, you bop.
She bop, bee boo. She bop, boo boo.
She did a duet show with Boy George, and Boy George hit on South Boston Jeff.
Really?
Yeah, he wanted my cell phone. I think he was like, give me your phone and everything. And I was like, no, screw you. I didn't know what he wanted with it. I should have given. People were like, you should have gave it to him. I was like, no, he probably wanted to take it back to his hotel. And
He was going to put his number in there. We could be calling him right now.
We could have been getting a lot of things signed, Jeff.
Yeah, I know, but he had a. Well, I'll say he has good taste.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you can't help it, Jeff.
We saw him. Were you there the night we saw him in Times Square? It was like 3 a.m, and he was completely plastered coming out of a bar. And I didn't recognize him. He was, bald and whatnot. He had on a Celtics shirt. And the autograph collector Johnny goes, you know who that is? You know who that is? I go, no. He goes, that's Boy George. I was like, get out of here.
Oh my God.
And then all of a sudden we walked out and he's like, I was like, holy shit, that is Boy George.
That's terrible.
Didn't look like Boy George.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got his act together now.
Or like Arnold Schwarzenegger said in Commando, why don't they just call him Girl George?
It'd be so much easier.
Like Girl George. What's in these sandwiches?
So stupid.
What's in these sandwiches?
I watched that not too long ago with the world's most non-threatening evil. That guy with the chainmail. vest.
That's Vernon Wells.
Yes, that's right. I think we talked about this.
Sean. The more you look at that little vest, it's made of yarn. It looks like something his grandmother made
crocheted.
him. Yeah, it looks
He's
like
all
something
chubby and everything.
Did you see that his pants were so tight? He had that little walk that he was doing. Like, I'm going to kill your daughter.
I'm going to give her such a pinch.
Who told him he was threatening? He was Freddie Mercury on steroids. That's all it is.
Can you see the director? We're going to make you the most evil villain of all time. You're going to go up against Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And your boss in the movie was Carla Tortelli's husband.
That's right.
Nick Tortelli. Your father is cooperating. The worst accent. Your father is cooperating 100%.
But I do like that movie for some
I
reason.
love that
I
movie.
watch it. Let's take Cook's car.
He won't be needing it.
I let him go.
Well, did you notice the film flub in that? I'm sure there's many, but
When he's holding him?
well, that you can see the string
You can see the wire.
holding them up. But the Porsche, they're whacking into it, boom, 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 and then in one scene when they tilt it over, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, I didn't notice
when
that.
they pull away after. And what happened to him? I let him go. And then it pulls around to the side, and you can see the complete car, and it's not dented at all. So
I like the noise that Sully made when they let him go. Ooh, ah!
yeah, pretty much the same noise he made when he got kicked out by the Riffs at the end of Warriors. Ooh, ah!
The Warriors were there, but we couldn't find them at Chilla. They were in some private room down the end of a hallway. And James Remar bailed on, Ajax.
He didn't show up?
I guess there's friction in real life between him and Swan, Michael Beck.
Really?
And he just didn't, he bailed.
That's so stupid.
But all the rest of them were supposedly there. But I didn't, one, I couldn't find them. And two, I've seen them a million times.
Yeah.
And what's her name? No longer dyes her hair, so she looks old now.
Oh, yeah.
Is Deborah von Valkenburg.
Yeah.
I thought she was very attractive. I thought she was more attractive than Lydia Cornell on Too Close for Comfort.
Okay, yeah.
But I got Patrick Kelly and Mercedes Rules, so screw the rest of those Chilla guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that when you got Mercedes. That's going back a while. And you were like, you were great in the Warriors. And she goes, that was such a long time ago.
Now, I made a note to bring somebody up. Now, I'm sure you guys have met him.
All right, let's hear it.
I just recently friended him on Facebook.
Okay.
And Eddie Deason.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Wow, of course we need.
There's a famous picture. I should find it. If you're watching this on YouTube, maybe I did find it. If not, I'll tweet it out somewhere down the line. It's a picture of Eddie in between Jeff and Bull.
Really?
Yeah, he was a very nice guy.
Yeah, always got that classic face and everything. But yeah, he's fantastic and everything.
Send him a friend request on Facebook. He's very, very active on Facebook. And he posts like 10 times a day.
Didn't he have a health scare not too long ago?
There was something. He's got kind of some issues with his manager. I know he's been.
For those of you who are asking, Eddie Deason played, Eugene in Grease. Was that his name?
Yeah, he was in Grease.
And he played Mr. Potato Head in War Games.
And his first role was in
1941.
No, his first role.
Oh, let's see.
I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles movie.
Directed by Robert Zemeckis,
Yes.
who did Back to the Future.
And he's an incredibly huge Beatles fan, and he had a website at one time where he would put out, there was 100 Beatles questions, and whoever could answer it, he would send them, I think, $250 or
Well,
something.
Eddie
like that.
Deason had I Want to Hold Your Hand, which was the first time he worked with Zemeckis. And then he was in 1941, which was written by him and Bob Gale. And then he did the voice in the Polar Express of one of the kids.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that annoying kid.
So he's been around. He's a very, very nice guy.
Yeah, and he did something recently where he was, his meds weren't adjusted. He was in some place and he wouldn't leave, and the police had to intervene.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like he's okay now. He posts literally all these posts you're seeing right here.
Are all him?
This was all today.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, there's a great picture of him sitting on his porch smoking a cigar. Where is it? One of life's great pleasures. That's him. Yeah.
And he looks exactly the same.
Yeah, I love hearing him talk.
He said, yeah. He did.
And he talked about what was it? There was something one of the interviews I was reading about how he wanted to be a ventriloquist, and then he ended up playing a ventriloquist in the 1941 in the Ferris wheel.
With the dummy, yeah. With
all of a sudden, the dummy just comes up.
wasn't he?
Yeah, I love that. That's
That was one of the funniest parts of the movie.
It just slowly rises up and everything because
Wasn't the guy in the Ferris wheel with him, Mayor Vaughn?
I don't think that. Oh,
I believe
Murray
it might have been.
Hamilton.
it might have been.
I think that was. You guys talk. I'm going to look that up.
I mean, he drops the coconut and it
Yeah.
smashes, and the guy was like getting sick because he's afraid of heights, and he goes, "I should have timed it because the average item falls 32 feet per second, and if I timed it, then I wouldn't know how high up we were." He's like, "You shut up."
It is indeed Mayor Vaughn. There's a picture
Wow,
of Eddie
Murray
DeZine.
Hamilton.
As he is right there. Eddie DeZine, Murray Hamilton, and the dummy.
Murray Hamilton's face. Look at him. That only makes sense that he's in there because it's a Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh, and so Lorraine Gary's in it as well.
And there was, that's right. And Jaws references with the
thing in the beginning and whatnot.
Oh, that's funny. Now I want to watch that movie.
That movie would have been better if it had more time editing. Because there's like 8 trillion stories going on.
There is a lot. The Treat Williams. They could have done without the Treat Williams story. As much as I like Treat Williams,
he just died not too long ago.
Yeah, he got in an accident.
He was a motorcycle accident, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was. He was in Once Upon a Time in America. Remember the guy who was being doused with gas?
Oh yeah.
He was being doused.
I was thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm like, no, I think
he was being doused by Michael Corleone's bodyguard.
Oh,
Al Neary.
That's right.
The actor.
Right, yeah.
Richard Bright is his name. That's on a lot. They must because it's the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Like now, I wanted to bring this up to you, Bittman, but like speaking of Once Upon a Time in America, one of an underrated role from Burt Young. Hey, now while I was at the Chili, because they have tons of movie vendors there, you can get pretty much not every, but I picked up this 1980 horror movie called Blood Beach and everything. Do you remember that one? Now, Burt Young was the police lieutenant on this beach, and underneath the beach was this monster.
Yeah, I was going to say, it comes up under the sand.
Yeah,
when you said that, I'm thinking,
people under the sand.
I definitely saw that movie.
Yeah, John Saxon was in it, but
Jesus, that's right.
But Burt Young just shows up in it like he just walked off the set of Rocky. Yeah, I'm going to be in this film for a while, and there was a scene where a kid on the beach walks up to him and throws him a turd. He's like, "Hey, I got some evidence from the killer." "Oh yeah, what you got, kid?" And he throws him a dog turd, and he catches it. He's like, "Oh, you sons of bitching kids!
Get off my beach, you sterno bum!"
He's just playing the exact type of character.
Bums.
Yeah, he's he plays the exact. God bless Burt Young. He plays the exact type of character in every movie and everything. But
Exact.
He was a very nice guy too.
Yeah.
Breaker, this is Love Machine. Look at them hills up on the hill.
Like, hey, yeah, you're a funny guy. But he's known to he likes his crown royal. He was he was royally crowned. He was royally drunk when I met him a couple of times. He's feeling very happy. He was feeling very
happy. Did he compliment you on your eye patch?
He did. He was like,
that's right.
not a patch, that's a badge. Yeah, it's a badge. I bet you've been in a lot of... Feel my arm. Yeah, feel that. No, feel it.
He ain't kidding either.
Yeah. And it was his bicep was like a rock. It was, he's a tough little prick. He really is.
Well, yeah, that's like I said. I'll give you an example. I'm nice and I'm tough. I'll give you an example. I got 2 kids. One I put through college, the other I put through a wall. Your pop loves you. He's looking out for you. Look out for him.
Yeah, that's not a bad impression of Paul.
Yeah, that was back to school, wasn't it?
That was Lou.
That's right. And that was Lou. And like I said, I love him in his other role. Don't forget Rocky. But then it's like, Breaker, this is Love Machine. Look at them rigs up on the hill. Tim Roger, gotcha. Come on. Oh, what you doing up there, fellas? Over.
Wasn't he in a made-for-TV movie where he played an abusive father?
I don't remember. He
Daddy,
could have been.
I think he played Daddy. I don't like.
He
it
was
like
in one
this.
of the Amityville.
I was just going to
sequels.
say, yeah. That was part 2.
Daddy, I don't like this or something like that. And the kid, I remember it was the first time I was a young kid watching this made-for-TV movie, and I back then the world was a different place.
Better place.
And they showed him leaving his house, his wife and the kid that he beat and everything, and he's going out, and he goes to like a dormitory, and he knocks on the door and everything, and this really nice, sexy student opens the door, and she just goes like, "Come in." So she brings him in and everything, and she's doing her homework in the dormitory, and he goes, "You got a shower?" And she goes, "In there." So he goes in, he's taking a shower, and basically he was seeing an escort.
Oh.
You know.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I was like, I remember, like, I think I asked my mother, like, what's he doing? She's like, never mind.
He's dirty. He needs a shower.
I was like, and like years later, I'm like, wait a minute, now I get it.
Unbelievable. So any other trips coming up? How's the jukebox doing? Since
Jukebox is doing, but I really, it's been a month since I did an episode.
You
I
were
just
injured.
you were
injured.
When I can't feel it, I just can't force myself to do it.
And we got to get our good friend Doug on this program again.
I know Doug. I think is pissed at me. I haven't heard from him in a while because I think he uses Facebook Messenger a lot, which I fucking hate.
Yeah, I can't stand it either.
It's a pain in the ass. Every time I open something, it's just. But he's asked me a couple times, like he goes, "What's up?" and everything, and I said I wasn't up the studio that night, and I said, you know, things like that. So we got to circle back with Doug definitely very soon.
Great.
I should be dropping an episode next week.
Unbelievable.
And I got a big announcement coming up about the jukebox.
Oh yeah, can you give us a little hint?
No.
Is it about merch?
Nope.
Is it? You're not retiring from it.
No. It's gonna shock the jukebox world.
It's going to shock the jukebox world, huh?
And that's all I'm gonna say.
And when is this big announcement going to happen?
It'll be right before the end of this month, the month of May.
So around Memorial Day?
Right before Memorial Day.
Right before Memorial Day. Maybe at one of my barbecues
Maybe.
we could do.
We can talk about it.
We could record something at the
We'll
barbecue.
definitely be talking about it. That's for sure.
We will definitely be talking about it.
I promise you.
And now, is your producer coming back?
You never know.
Are you going to get a co-host?
You never know.
Are you going to be? You're going to give us some hints.
No.
Okay. All right. If anybody wants to guess what it is, they can email you at middleofthenightpodcast@gmail.com.
Excellent. Very good.
Oh, well, I've been sending those links to browsers and whatnot.
No wonder my email's all.
Yeah, I didn't. You asked, and I said, okay, all right, I'll give you my passcode.
Looking to give head?
Volume 7. Unbelievable. Quince, it's about that time. Once you wrap up the old program here.
This has been a spectacular show. Everyone came back from a very spectacular trip. And so we thank you for watching this spectacular episode. Come back again for another spectacular episode. And so please drive home carefully. And remember, we never close.